Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to today's Premier League Roundup Week 1 video. Now, this is hopefully going to be the start of a new series that we run throughout all of this Premier League season. Normally I will most likely do it as a stream, but obviously right now, as you saw yesterday, I'm on holiday, so I had to pre-record this and do it as a video instead. But if you have any feedback on it and things that you would potentially like me to add to this mini-series, then let me know in the comment section down below. But if you enjoy it, you find it a bit of fun, and just have a laugh, basically, then hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel and want to see daily streams and videos, then hit that subscribe button as well. But basically what we're going to be doing each week is, most likely, like I say, on stream. It might be like an hour long normally, but today's video is going to be much shorter than that. We're going to go over each of the games from the previous round of Premier League fixtures. We're going to go over our thoughts and everything like that to do with it, and what I think is going to happen in the next round of fixtures, obviously with some predictions. And we're also going to do a quick summary of the Fantasy Football League, how my team did in that week, any transfers that I might be making, etc., and who is top of the league at the current moment. So, let's jump into it, shall we? Game 1. The curtain raiser of this Premier League season was Liverpool at home against Premier League newcomers Norwich City. Liverpool smashed them 4-1. Now, the case for a lot of these games throughout the entire season is that if a game is on TV, I'm going to see it. And the games that aren't on TV, I will do my best to research them, watch the highlights and everything, so I can actually give proper feedback and thoughts on every single game, rather than just seeing a scoreline and thinking, oh, okay, sure, that's how this game went, without actually really knowing. So I'm going to try and put some effort in and put some research in. But Liverpool got off to a good start with Hanley scoring an OG. That was great. What a first goal to start off the Premier League season. Cheeky little finish by Hanley right there. But the thing is, Norwich actually look good, and I'm excited to see them moving forward, because they went at Liverpool, and not just until the own goal. They kept going, and you can see that by the fact that even in the second half, they were 4-0 down. They managed to pull a goal back through Timu Pukki. Very nice finish, and a great ball through to him as well. And Norwich looked positive. So I didn't put them very high up in my Premier League predictions, which if you haven't seen are on my channel, you can go and watch that. I did a full table prediction as well as top goal scorer and everything like that. I didn't put Norwich very high. After looking at this, if they attack teams in the way that they did at Anfield the other day, maybe they'll do better than I said. I got to give them a bit of credit for their performance. But Liverpool, I mean, hey, it's what they do. They don't need to have an absolute ton of chances because they're quite clinical, and their attacks are formed in a way that it's easy for them to actually get the goal from the chances that they create. Salah scores, nice little ball by Firmino, easy, gets off the mark straight away. Van Dijk scores from a corner, and then Origi manages to get a goal as well. Of course Origi scores, why wouldn't he? Mane did not start the game, he came on as a sub, so they weren't even at like full force really. But they did get an injury to Alisson. Now, that could be big. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Will that make a big difference for Liverpool? Who knows? Next up, we had West Ham at home to Man City. Man City ran riot. Sterling scored a hat-trick on the opening day of the weekend. I don't have him in my fantasy team, so that's a good start. Really, really good start. But yeah, Sterling smashed it. He had a goal ruled out for VAR, because he was the tiniest bit offside, but rules are rules. He was offside, it was given offside. Also, Man City had a penalty saved. Aguero came on, took a penalty, had it saved, but there was encroachment in the box. Fabianski was also off his line, so it was retaken, and then he scored it. So VAR was quite controversial in this game because of the Sterling goal, mainly. But yeah, VAR takes centre stage, pretty much sums up this game. And I don't think there's a picture of it on here. But yeah, he was literally probably about that far offside. It was crazy. To me, rules are rules. He was off. It was given offside. But a lot of people are saying that it takes away from the spirit of the game. I think what needs to happen with VAR, and we've seen it actually throughout this opening weekend, been very effective, especially in multiple different games, not just one. and we'll see that later on when we come to it. But I think it just needs to be quicker. And then a lot of these problems that are caused with some of these are wiped out. Because the thing is, sometimes it takes like 2 minutes to make a decision, and it's like you're making the right decision, but you are taking too long to do it sometimes. So I think that's the one thing that needs to change with VAR, is they need to speed it up. Next up, Bournemouth Sheffield United, a game that obviously wasn't on TV. Now we're getting to the 3 PM Saturday kickoffs. Bournemouth's defence looked all over the place. Sheffield United could easily have scored 3 or 4 with the chances that they had. Did manage to get the equaliser in the 88th minute, though, through Billy Sharp. But again, they had a good chunk of chances. And Bournemouth's new striker... Sheffield United's new striker, not the main man, as it turns out today. But Bournemouth, Metham, of course, is the guy that scores. After Callum Wilson hits the post, it rebounds to him, and he just puts it in the back of the net. But I don't know, man. Bournemouth, there's a reason, again, why I didn't put them too high in the table. If they're not winning at home to Sheffield United, a newly promoted team, it's not a good start for them. Really, really not a good start. Next up, Burnley blew away Southampton. Ashley Barnes, the star of the show, getting 2 goals in this game. His second goal was really, really nice as well. And it was just a point of, we're here and we're going for it this season. Obviously, last year they had the Europa League and their league performances weren't that good. This year they start things off with a bang, and the goals were quite nice as well. It wasn't what people would think of Burnley, just like Route 1 football and then they score just because all their players are huge and stuff like that. It wasn't bad, right? It really wasn't bad. Che Adams could have put Southampton 1-0 up, though. I still think that Southampton will do okay under Hasenhüttl, but this was not a good start for them at all. But fair play to Burnley for coming out strong. And as Sean Dyche has said, come back with a real edge as they make their winning start to the Premier League. Next up, we had Palace Everton. Only real notable thing being Schneiderlin got sent off for 2 yellows. His first one, I don't know what he was doing with his reaction. His second one, yeah, easy yellow card. No real controversy here. But Pickford made some decent saves in this game. Richarlison had a very, very good effort as well. And just a pretty even game. One of the main talking points was Zaha going to start? Was he going to score against Everton after the deadline day drama? No, he came on as a sub and he did not manage to score. But, I mean, Everton are going to be one of our rivals this season in terms of competing for 7th and higher place in the table. So, good to see them draw from my personal perspective. But I'm going to try and be as non-biased as I can throughout every single one of these weekends. It's quite disappointing for them, to be honest with you. They were hoping to get off with a big bang. Again, after the slight failure on deadline day to get Zaha, to potentially get that centre-back that they wanted to replace Zuma, it would have been really good for Everton to get off to a winning start. But on the other hand, Palace, decent point against a good opposition in terms of where they're supposed to be competing in the table. Not bad. Not bad for them, especially as Zaha was not starting. So, you'll take it, really. Next up, Watford got demolished by Brighton. Again, another team that I thought would potentially be pushing up, especially with the signings of like Ismaili Sarr, etc. Danny Welbeck they got on a free as well. I thought maybe they'd start having that firepower, start bumping up the table, but Brighton, my God. Doucouré's own goal, just unlucky like most own goals are. And Doan's goal was very, very nice. And Maupai, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. As we go through the season, I'm assuming he's going to score a few. We'll get used to his name. But decent from him to score on that Premier League debut. But Watford, very, very disappointing for them. Incredibly disappointing. And they're going to hope to bounce back next week. Up next, Spurs against Villa. Villa went 1-0 up very early on. Great through ball. And then a nice finish by McGinn. But then Spurs were battering them. And they were just kept going at them. Knocking on the door over and over again. Villa were defending very, very well. And it's one of those games where do you deserve to do really well just because you're defending well, but you are sitting deep and you're not really attacking? I don't know. But Ndombele with a very, very nice, pretty much just passed it into the net with power. Very, very nice goal to start off his campaign with Spurs. And then Harry Kane scores 2 in 5 minutes because it's what Harry Kane does. He's not even in the game for a lot of it, and then bang, he just scores. So Harry Kane firing for Spurs is a good start to their season again. Obviously, with their signings, including Ndombele, or Ndombele, as the commentators pronounced it, they want to be getting up there in the table and competing with Liverpool and Man City. So, very, very nice start. A comeback on the first day of the season after being 1-0 down at half-time. Not bad for Spurs fans. Next up, Newcastle lost to Arsenal. Aubameyang firing already. Again, I think I saw a stat earlier. In terms of fantasy football, the only person out of the top 8 strikers to not get an assist or a goal was Vardy this week. So the top striker's doing pretty damn well, and Aubameyang is another one of those. Lovely little dink over the keeper. But Newcastle did hit the post, and they had a couple of chances, and potentially could have done okay. I mean, Arsenal's defence in this game was probably the weakest that it's going to be all season without like Tierney and David Luiz, etc. So Newcastle could really have put a statement of intent out there by managing to get something against Arsenal. Joel Linton looked good though. From what I've seen, he created a couple of chances himself. One of them where he dribbled around a couple of players and got a shot off on goal. Looks like he could be a promising player. So good signs for Newcastle, even though they did lose. Again, against a good opposition though. Next up, we drew with Wolves. First game of the season. Not an insane amount to shout about. Wolves defended very well, and I feel we defended quite well. There are a couple of big chances in the game. One where Tielemans squared it and Vardy just missed it. Jota had a very good chance where he missed a complete one-on-one with Schmeichel. However, looking back at the highlights, he would have been offside, so it didn't matter. But the big controversial talking point was Wolves scored, but it was disallowed through VAR. Of course, Nuno says VAR decisions are affecting the spirit of the game. Shocked that he says that after their goal was ruled out. I wonder if he would have said the same if it was the other way round. Basically, Dendoncker had a header. It hit Bolly's arm, like here, bounced off his arm onto his shoulder or something like that. And the rules state that basically if a goal involves hitting the arm in any way, it's disallowed. So the rules are the rules, it was disallowed. Do I think either team deserved to win? Not really. Again, I'm not going to be biased even towards my own team. We created chances, but I think we only had one shot on target, and that came in the 85th minute from like 30 yards from Harvey Barnes. So we played some okay football, but Soyuncu for us, filling in for Harry now. Who needs Harry if he's going to play like that every game? He was outstanding, but also Willy Bolly, who someone said got man of the match in the stream the other day, and I would be happy with that. I thought he was an absolute tank for them, and he nullified Perez on his debut. But Chilwell had a stinker, and we still kept a clean sheet. So I'm happy with that. When one of your defenders drops a 1 out of 10, Soyuncu made up for it next to him, I guess, and helped out massively. But an interesting start to the Premier League for us. We created a decent amount of chances. Wolves defended well. We dominated possession, and we did create stuff. Hopefully, going forward, we'll come up against teams that don't defend as solidly as they did. They sort of nullified Tielemans and Maddison through the middle, and then also have their wing-backs out wide, so it was very difficult for us. But positive signs for us, and positive signs for Wolves. Jota looked the most lively of their team, I thought. Jimenez didn't look up to it. But again, Bolly was absolute stalwart defender for them, so fair play to him. He was a monster. Next up, the final game of this weekend was Man U smashing Chelsea 4-0. Now, maybe the scoreline is a bit kind towards Man U. Chelsea hit the woodwork twice. One of them when it was 0-0. Tammy Abraham hit it, and then Edison hit it later on. Or Emerson, sorry, not Edison. But Rashford managing to get 2 goals. One of them, a masterclass pass from Pogba. My God. And then he also set up Daniel... is it Daniel? I should probably check, shouldn't I? I feel like it's Daniel. Who knows? It's somewhere in here. I don't know. But James, whatever his last name is, You know what? Let's find it in here. No, not that James. Daniel James. Right, we're all over it. Scores on his Old Trafford debut as well in the Premier League. Not a bad day for him. And Martial getting a decent goal as well. Man U not missing Lukaku, it seems. Although Chelsea's defence, little bit dodgy. But Man U actually looking decent going forward. Maybe they won't do as bad as people are thinking this season. So, fair play to them. They smashed it. They absolutely smashed it. Next up. Top scorers as it stands. Obviously, Raheem gets himself a hat-trick. Ashley Barnes, Rashford and Kane getting 2 goals each. And then a lot of people scoring 1 goal right here, including Van Dijk. So, obviously, this will be a lot more interesting to look at as we go further through the season. But I want your feedback as to whether you think I'm missing out anything or anything that you think should just be an addition or altered going forward. I would be happy to hear all of your feedback, so put it in the comments section. But if you enjoy it, again, thumb it up. This is how the table looks as it stands right now. West Ham rock bottom with a -5 goal difference. Obviously, therefore, putting Man City on top. Man U following close behind and Liverpool. Brighton, Burnley also picking up 3 points is not bad. And then 2 of the other top 6 teams in Spurs and Arsenal managing to get wins. So 5 of the standard top 6 winning. Obviously, Chelsea suffered defeat to Man U. We're in the middle here, 12th. We drew against a direct competition rival this year. I'll take that. How did your team do? Who do you support? And were you impressed with them? First game of the season? Yes? No? Let me know in the comments section. Now, the other part of what we're going to do each week is we're going to look at my fantasy team. We're going to look at the league table of the fantasy league and also the fixtures and my predictions for each of the upcoming fixtures. As I say, this will probably be done as a stream in the future rather than a video, but I'm on holiday and I'll also be on holiday next week, so I probably won't be able to do one of these until I get back on the Thursday or something like that, which is really late, I know, but not much I can do. So, my fantasy team, 73 points is okay. Average was 65. Nick Pope in goal, hero. Backline did okay. Robertson obviously conceded to Timu Pukki, lost his clean sheet. Very frustrating. Barkley got hooked off. Perez didn't do much. De Bruyne was okay, but I really missed out not having Salah. Not having Sterling, sorry, and going with Aubameyang. There was a chance that I would have gone with like Jimenez and Sterling, and I was thinking about that for a long time, but I ended up going with Aubameyang and De Bruyne. Salah captain was the right choice for me, so I did well in my captaincy. De Gea managed to get how many points? De Gea got, what, 6, 8, 10 points. Obviously, I was always going to play Pope over De Gea, though. Did anyone really think they were going to get a clean sheet against Chelsea? I didn't. Kelly on the bench managed to pick up 6 points. I don't know why they're not showing the points this year on the bench. I don't know if it's a bug or whether this is supposed to happen. It's really annoying because you can't see like if you made a bad decision really easily. You have to click on the player and see what they did. Then Donk had his goal disallowed. So my team did okay. In terms of transfers, I'm not one of those guys that is going to now instantly, oh, let me take out Aubameyang, bring in Raheem Sterling and bring someone else in up front, like Ashley Barnes. I have faith in the team that I picked, and that's why I picked it. So I'll keep it for a minimum of 2 weeks before I make any transfers. I'm going to keep it as it is right now. And then we'll see after next week how players do and whether I feel like I need to make any changes. The thing is, I can take out Aubameyang for a lesser striker, which is nice because then that gives me the money if I wanted Sterling or someone else in midfield, maybe even Riyadh or someone else instead of Barkley. We'll have to wait and see. So the league is looking like this. At the top right now, Mohamed Rashad with 124 points. Triple captain played on Sterling, you lucky, lucky guy. Had Kelly on the bench who got 6 points, could have had 130 points. Salah doing well for him. Interesting that these two did terribly, still got so many points. Ndombele, Kane, Walker, Van Dijk. Smashed it, basically. So fair play to you. Where are you overall in the world? 283rd in the world out of how many players? Nearly 6 million. Fair play. You've smashed it. Absolutely smashed it. So that is how the league stands as it is. If your name's on this, if you're on the first page, you've done very, very well. I don't know exactly how many pages there are. We'll check at some point. But if you want to join and you are not a part of it, then I put up a fantasy video the other day and you can get the code there. Now, predictions for next week's fixtures. This is going to be a quick one this week, but in the future, again, we're going to take a lot more time over each game, analyse it a little bit more. Again, probably do it on stream because hopefully people enjoy it and want to see more. Arsenal-Burnley, all I'm going to do is just a simple score prediction, no goal scorers or anything like that. Arsenal-Burnley, obviously Burnley had a good start. I think Arsenal are just going to be too good at home, though, at the Emirates. So, 3-1 Arsenal. Villa-Bournemouth. Neither looked incredible. Let's go 1-1 in that game. Brighton-West Ham. Brighton started very well. West Ham did not. Although, can they keep it up? I don't think so. I think West Ham are going to go to Brighton and win 2-1 at the Amex. Everton-Watford could be a very interesting game. Everton could have done better, but they just weren't firing when it got to the final third, and Watford got destroyed by Brighton. I think Everton are going to win this one. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton. Norwich-Newcastle. Now, Newcastle looked half decent. Norwich also looked pretty damn good against Liverpool. So, I would like to watch this game. It's a shame it's a 3 o'clock game. I'm going to go, there's going to be goals in this one. I'm going to go 2-2 in Norwich-Newcastle. Southampton-Liverpool, 0-3. Liverpool to smash it. Man City-Spurs, I'm excited. Because I should be able to hopefully watch this one. Even though I am in America, I should hopefully be able to watch these games. So, Man City-Spurs, I'm going to go 3-1 Man City. As you can tell, I like goals. Sheffield United-Palace. 2-0 Sheffield United. Chelsea against us. Sadly, I think we're going to lose. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I'd love to be proved wrong, though. And then Wolves Man U. 1-3 again. So, those are my predictions for this upcoming league fixtures. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section down below. But hopefully you enjoyed this first week of the Premier League Roundup. Again, I want to do it as a stream most likely going forward so I can get your feedback directly as it happens in the chat, in the stream, as well as the comments of the video, and that'd be sick. It'll probably be like an hour long normally, and we'll do like a full show kind of thing. But hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, leave any feedback in the comments section down below. But that's going to be it from me for this first Premier League Weekly Roundup. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.